Welcome to Business Events TV. This is the Who's Who section, and we have Geoff Donaghy. We've been asking Geoff for many years several questions about, what he's like as a person. So, Geoff, what are you reading at the moment?
Well, I actually advanced my reading over the holidays. I took 2 weeks off and read about half a dozen books, The memorable ones were V.S. Nepal, who unfortunately died last year. Magic Seeds was one of his novels. I've read a lot of his novels. He was a Nobel Prize winner some years ago. But I've also got introduced to Leanne Moriarty, an Australian author who's the author of Little Big Lies, or Big Little Lies, a Netflix show. The Husband's Secret, and a number of other really entertaining books. Entertaining books.
Are you listening to any podcasts?
Listen to more music, not so much podcasts, but certainly Spotify is on constant play in my car on the way to work, on the way home from work, and on the weekends. When I take a whole lot of work home, and sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. But invariably, I'll always be listening to music.
What are you like? 80s rock and roll, Bruce Springsteen, AC/DC, jazz?
No, not really. The full spectrum, from classical music to blues. Probably my two, as I like to say, is from Beethoven to B.B. King, and from Mozart to Muddy Waters.
Is that like just what type of mood I'm in?
I have music to suit any mood that I'm in. I've got a vast music collection, which is now, of course, is all done online on Spotify.
Of course.
Resisting any moves to throw out my vinyl collection and my CD collection. I'm keeping those for posterity and to hand on to my children.
That's right.
But Spotify is my technology of choice at the moment.
I've got 300 CDs and they're all being digitised. And it's like, what do I do with them? I don't want to check them out. And LPs are coming back in.
I'm keeping mine because I know there's a vast fortune sitting in a back store and that I've protected vehemently against tidy-ups and threats to throw them out.
That's right. And what was your first LP?
First LP was the Rolling Stones, actually.
Oh, well done.
When I was about 15, because back in those days you're either Rolling Stones or Beatles.
Oh, that's right.
And I was Rolling Stones, and through that I understood that their roots were in blues.
What's his name? Muddy Waters.
Who I had the privilege of seeing live in Brisbane.
Wow.
In the 1970s, like with B.B. King, John Mayall, all those great blues artists, Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee. In fact, I presented a blues program on an FM radio station in Cairns during my time there, a jazz and blues program.
Do you play instruments?
No, I can play an LP, but that's about it.
And if you would, what would you play?
Probably saxophone, actually. I think it's the most sensuous of all the instruments.
Agreed. Yeah. I've been playing sax for 20 years, and I haven't been playing sax for 20 years.
Oh, wow. Well, it's a pleasure to try it. Least,
That's right. And are you blues or maroon?
Now, I have to make a confession.
I've been told one of your staff to come up and says, make sure you ask him that.
I'm an absolute Sydney-sider through and through, and I'll be staying in Sydney, involved with the ICC Sydney. Live in Balmain, so right in the heart of
blues.
Sydney. But I also opened Suncorp Stadium when it was redeveloped all those years ago. So I knew a lot of the players and the teams. So there's 3 nights a year where I reserve the right to change my jersey to a maroon jersey.
So you're blues?
No, maroons. Queensland for 3 nights a year, Sydney cider for the rest of the time.
And I understand you like cooking. What are you cooking at the moment?
Cooking is one of my favourite relaxations.
Yes, it is.
My Italian nonna and my mum taught me the great skills of Italian cooking, and I've travelled extensively through Asia for 20 or 30 years, so I've picked up a lot of Asian salads. I love an Italian. I can come home late at night and whip up a quick pasta. I had cousins come out from Italy and we learned how to make pasta from nothing. It was fantastic. Yeah. Well, I've a lot of the skills that I still learned from my Italian nonna all those years ago, just watching her in her little kitchen with a wood stove in North Queensland, and everything made from scratch. So.
And wine, I know you love wine. What are you drinking at the moment?
A day without wine is like a day without sunshine.
I agree.
We have a great strategy at ICC Sydney where something like 90% of our wines now come from New South Wales wineries.
Yeah, you're saying it's fantastic.
So we worked very, very strongly on developing those areas, like Orange, Mudgee. The Hunter is already strong, but those other areas developing their brand. So 90% of our wines are sourced now from New South Wales wineries. So we're really putting those wineries and those regions well and truly on the map in Sydney and Australia. Therefore I'm required to taste test a lot of the product.
Are you on the taste testing council?
Yeah, but a good red wine will,
Cab Sav, Shiraz?
Shiraz, Cab Sav, Pinots. There's some good Pinots being made in the cooler regions in New South Wales as well. Yeah.
And favourite apps?
I'd probably have to say conference apps. is probably the apps I use the most. You know, at the conferences I go to, the use of apps for those now, like the AIM app
yes,
here.
good app.
Yeah, but use of technology. I probably read 4 or 5 online newspapers and news reports every morning as soon as I wake up, catching on national, local, and international news. So all of the news apps. But I keep coming back to Spotify,
music,
along with my three recreations of reading, music, and cooking.
Excellent. Geoff, thank you very much for your time. And we'll see you again next year.
This time next year.
This time next year.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Thank you.